Hello, it's Bailey and welcome back to my channel. This is going to be my March 5-star Picks My TBR. So if you're unfamiliar with the series I started in 2022, every month I'm spinning this wheel that has a mix of names of people I'm very good friends with here on BookTube, as well as some creators I just like watching. And every month I spin the wheel, and any books that they rate 5 stars in that month I also read. So this is going to be March's version. If you didn't catch last month's, I read Adriana from Carbon Bonded Books, her 5-star books. And if you didn't catch January's, I read Sid from Sid Bookworm's 5-star books. So let me pull my spinner up and we will get who I am going to be reading from in March. Okay, I've got my wheel up here and I'm gonna go ahead and spin it. This makes me nervous every month. In March I'm reading a lot of things, so I don't know. I don't really want to land on anybody who reads like a lot of books or is too generous with their ratings. We'll see how it goes. I'm spinning now. Oh, okay. All right. Okay, I landed on Martine from Just Martine, which is like one of my favorite humans of all time. If you don't know Martine, definitely go subscribe to her, but she reads a lot of like lesser known titles. To me, when I think of Martine, I think of her as just reading whatever is available to her. So she does read some more popular things if she can get it through the library. I love her Dollar Tree videos. She does just like use a lot of different services to get free books. So, have no idea what her plans are for March. She doesn't usually post TBRs. I do think that she's going to be participating in Squash That series, so she will probably be reading a lot of sequels. And what I do if someone rates a sequel 5 stars is I will read the first book or whatever book I am on in that series in place of which volume she would rate. So we'll see how her month goes. She does read quite a few books, so like I said, we'll just see how her month goes. I'm really excited for this one, and I'm excited to have gotten like friends 2 months in a row. But I will keep you posted when I spy any updates that I think I should have my eye on. Hello, I'm stopping in to check in on this month's 5-star Picks My TBR for Martine. We'll go ahead and call this Martine's mid-month wrap-up. It's the 17th? Nope, it's the 18th today. So over half the month is over. I'm pulling up her Goodreads because I have been keeping an eye on it, and she has rated a couple things 5 stars. If you've missed my previous videos, I was sick for a little bit of this month. Mabel was sick and then I was sick, so I just kind of didn't check in on this video. So Martine does read quite a lot of books, but I was lucky the first couple weeks of the month she didn't really rate anything 5 stars, even though she was finishing things. But just this week she rated Under the Banner of Heaven, A Story of Violent Faith by Jon Krakauer, 5 stars. Never heard of this book. I'm very interested to try this because I don't want to speak for her, but I do believe that Martine is a little bit more religious than I am. I'm not very religious at all, so I think this could be an interesting conversation for her and I to have as I read this one. And then she also rated the new What If It's Us by Becky Albertalli. It's called Here's to Us. And I actually did read the first book in this series, so it's the second book in a series, but I am also caught up to where she was, so I'm gonna give this one a try. I actually unhauled the first one, even though I think I gave it 4 stars. I enjoyed it okay. I don't remember that much about it, so I'll probably read or watch some sort of recap on that book and then try that one as well. So 2 books I didn't have my eye on, but I'm willing to give a try. I'm also willing to bet that by the end of this, Martine will have at least 1 more 5 star, so I need to get started, and I don't want to say much else because there will be a good chunk of vlog portion in this one because she has some 5 stars. So I will check in when I start something. Hello humans, it is Monday morning. It's like April 4th, and I'm just starting the books for this vlog, even though the month is already over. But I did just get access to Here's to Us by Becky Albertalli on my Libby, so I'm starting that this morning. I've actually already read like 30-ish pages, I think. I had decided not to go back and reread What If It's Us. I don't have a desire to, and so there has been a little bit of like filling in of that first book where I feel like my mind is refreshed a little, but I think Martine reads similar to me. I'm not sure how long it had been since she read What If It's Us, but I don't remember much of books after I've read them, so I don't really remember like how that book necessarily ends. Mild spoilers here for just a second for What If It's Us, if you want to pause or skip ahead. I mean, mute or skip ahead a little bit. But in this second book, both of the main characters are actually kind of dating other people going into it, and we know that they're about to like see each other for the first time again. And so I'm just really hoping that cheating is not part of this book at all. But that being said, I am enjoying the writing. I do think that like she writes teenagers well and like actual dialogue well, so I'm hoping to continue that today. There is one person ahead of me for the audiobook of Under the Banner of Heaven, so if that happens to come in today, I will probably start it, but I'm guessing that won't come in for a couple more days, so I'll keep you posted. Hello, long time no talk. I won't even say what day it is at this point. It's been a while, but I did just today hit the halfway point of Here's to Us by Becky Albertalli and Adam Silvera. So I'm having like mixed thoughts on this one. I do see this as something in terms of like Martine rating it 5 stars. This book feels to me like something in the genre or like the type of book that Martine would try to write. I just kind of feel that in my heart in terms of like the YA and the humor in this. I 100% can see why Martine loves this book so much, but I do think that the plot is making me nervous still, with them like both separately having boyfriends and then also like starting to talk to each other again. I'm just not sure. And I also think in this one it's suffering from, because it's been 2 years since the last book, so they were much younger in the last book, but I think that they're not written older. They're just supposed to be older. So I think that they're reading kind of young, and for the age they're supposed to be, I don't think that all of their interactions and how they do things is necessarily accurate to the age they're supposed to be at this point. But overall, I am having a pretty good time. So I'm going to continue and I'll update you again. My library loan for 5 Feet Apart came in, but I'm still waiting for the audiobook of Under the Banner of Heaven, if you're wondering how I'm doing on that. Yeah, there's a lot of opportunity still in this video. Okay, I am ready for some updates for this vlog. Firstly, I did finish Here's to Us by Becky Albertalli and Adam Silvera. I ended up giving that one 3 stars. I think basically what I talked about in my last clip is how I felt in the end. I just felt like the characters read younger than the age they were supposed to be. I was able to watch Martine's vlog where she read the book, and she actually read it for Squash That Series, which is a readathon that I host with my friend Kayla. So that was fun to see, and she like absolutely loved it. But I will say I feel like this book is written for theater kids, which Martine is, so I completely understand why she loved it so much. And I don't even want to say that it's just that YA doesn't work for me anymore, because some YA, like even contemporary YA, really does still work for me. But I do appreciate in this book that they do talk about the fact that these characters are sexually active. It's none of it's on page, but it is like there. So 3 stars for that one. Not a bad book at all. I do think it was a little too long. It's like almost 500 pages, and that was a little unnecessary, but it is what it is. But I have also started the audiobook of Under the Banner of Heaven, which that book was not at all what I thought it was going to be. It is more like a true crime book about crimes committed within the Mormon religion, and I'm about halfway through it right now, and I will just say, for some reason, I had more like background knowledge about like the Mormon faith in some of these cases than I would have thought I did. I've heard of most of these cases that they're talking about in this book and the people and such. I would be curious to hear the perspective on this book from someone who is a little more religious than I am, because to me, if you commit a crime and blame God for that, it's just like you're looking for somebody to blame and say that it wasn't your decision. So like I said, I'd be interested what somebody a little more religious thinks of somebody claiming that God is telling them to do something. The prologue of the book was like an introduction to what I think is going to be the main case in this book, where a mother and her 2-year-old daughter were murdered. So we got a little prologue of that, but then the first half of this book followed some like other crimes and just like background of the religion and some of the main characters in the religion that end up committing these other crimes. But I think going forward now, we are actually going into that case. And it's hard to read for me, like with a 2-year-old being murdered. It's just like really hard to listen to, but I'm definitely, it's hard to say I'm enjoying it, but I'm enjoying the book. It's something I do desire to continue. I will say the audiobook's not the best thing ever. The author might read it themselves. I'm not 100% sure on that, but it's not the best audiobook ever, but it's generally easier for me to listen to like nonfiction on audio in the first place. So that one's going good so far. And I'm also about 50 pages into 5 Feet Apart. And that one I'm not so sure about. This is like a sick lit YA book. The 5 Feet Apart reference is to them like having to stay apart because they both have cystic fibrosis, I think it is. So they easily get sick and need to stay healthy, so they can't like be near each other. I'm not sure that I'm gonna end up loving that one, but it is a pretty short book. It's not even 300 pages. So today we are heading out. It is the Saturday before Easter. We're heading to my dad's house, so I may be able to read some in the car, but not sure quite how much I'll be able to get done today. But I'll see you soon. I have made more progress. I'm actually pretty close. I think I only have like an hour left of the audiobook of Under the Banner of Heaven. The third part kind of lost me a little bit. There was just like a lot of history about the families that they're talking about. But part 4 is like bringing it back together, having me intrigued again. But I'm also halfway through 5 Feet Apart, and I'm hoping to finish that one tonight. It's not a very long book at all, but for some reason, my heater just turned on. 1 second. Okay, as I was saying, for some reason I'm having like deja vu with this book. Like I've read it before, but I know that I haven't. Nor have I seen the movie, so I don't know what's going on with that. Dare I say it's just not that original of a plot? I don't know. Stay tuned. But I'm about to go try and finish that one, and then hopefully tomorrow at work I will just finish Under the Banner of Heaven, and then I can let Martine know that I've been reading her 5-star books from March. I did see that she had tweeted that she like wants to go on a YA contemporary binge, so I love that for her, and she's definitely influenced me to read some YA contemporary this month. I have to show you something very important. What's it say? It says, what's it say? It says, hello human. Yeah, Martine made that for you. Martine made that for you. When I was pregnant, Martine sent me a care package with these cute little bibs that she made herself for Mabel, and then she also sent me some notes that are like the most emo thing. Every time I open one, they are like, open when Mabel's sick for the first time, open on your first Mother's Day, and such. And every time I get to open one, it's like the best thing ever. And I also know that Martine's love language is words of affirmation, which just makes them even more special, knowing that like this is how she shows love. So thank you, and they're so cute. But it's also time for me to give you the final update on these books, because I have finished both of the final books for this vlog. So firstly, I finished Under the Banner of Heaven, and how I'm kind of feeling about that is just that I wish it was a little bit more true crime. It did start to lean more into like the history of the religion, but overall I think that was a good book, and I do think it's probably gonna land at about a 3.5 star. You're getting a nice shot of baby hair, crazy baby hair. But I also did finish 5 Feet Apart by, don't know the author, racking my brain, just straight up don't know it. Here's the book cover and who wrote it, sorry. But I think that one is also gonna land at a 3-star for me. I do appreciate that it was like short and fast. I think a lot of books I've been reading lately tend to lean almost like too long. So I appreciate the concise, you know, it kept me interested throughout. It's just not my favorite kind of story, I guess. But overall, if you're into like YA contemporary, I did think that one was good. I also just I don't know how much I like a book set in the hospital, but I know that it could be an important story to many people. So for 5-star picks my TBR for the month of March and reading Martine's books, I basically had all 3-star reads, but I understand why Martine loves all of these things. And overall, I didn't dislike anything I ended up reading this month, which is a total win. And so if you haven't started watching Martine yet, definitely go and subscribe to her channel, watch some of her videos. I love the content she makes, and she's also just one of my best friends that I've made through BookTube and the internet, and we love you so much. Thank you for spending some time with us today, and we will see you again very soon. Okay, baby, gotta go, bye.